happens to me all the time. I'll go on vacation and then I come back, and the folks that lend me my clothing for the show, I'm like, could you please go up a size?
Yes.
And there's certain things I'm not going to wear until I'm sort of feeling back into my body again. So these are all tips for how you can slim down a little bit just with your clothing.
Exactly.
choices.
If you had that just bad day, but you need a little bit of extra help, these are the tips that are going to boost you there.
Love it.
Yes.
Okay, so she's got a whole multitude of things going on
Yes.
here that are going to help her look her best.
Exactly. The peplum. I was actually really happy to see that there's plenty of options out there in the malls. Lots of stores are carrying them. The one thing is that you may not have a 26-inch waist, but you still have a waist, and then you have hips, and you want to accentuate that shape because that's what we're looking for, right? If you're coming straight into your hips in a box, which some women do, if you're not pairing it on the bottom nicely, then you're just going to look really boxy.
Right.
So let's have the shape. We're supposed to have shape. The peplum just means that this is your waist, and now we've got this little kick. You can be hippie and still wear a peplum because it's the structure of the top that we're looking at, not your hips.
You can also have mummy tummy.
Yes,
Because
or a
if things are a
burger.
little bit bloated,
Yes.
this is the thing that's going to allow me to wear a tighter skirt.
Exactly.
Like, this is covered.
And what you'll notice is where the difference, the one thing is where the band is. So some of them are a little bit higher.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Let it be higher and then have a longer kick. That's great. Another thing that we're going to talk about even later is the lace overlay is so forgiving because the material underneath is what's doing all the work.
Yeah.
And so let the lace, it can cover a multitude of sins. So it's fantastic.
So the really long skirt as well.
Yeah, because you want to trim that shape back down. It's a solid color.
Yeah.
Bring it back down. Let it be tight and fitted because that's what we want. And if you're doing a thicker fabric, it's again going to hide all of those sins. Bring it down. So if you're hippie, the longer you come, the more you're going to lengthen out that look. It's fantastic.
The nude shoes are going to help too.
Yes.
That's a really good point.
And you want to lengthen. Every woman needs at least one, possibly two pairs of great nude shoes. They will go with everything, and they're going to lengthen out that leg. It's fantastic. A must.
Nice. And find your own nude because we're all obviously different nudes.
Yes, exactly. And now, if you're bigger busted, then you need to have that V shape on your neck. And if you don't always have it in your top, then you can create that with your necklace.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah, and that's like a nice little highlighting point.
Okay, let's move on to her now. So what is working with her to make her, feel a little bit slimmer?
The optical illusion right here is
Yeah.
that we're creating the waist by having this empire here. And now if you're smaller busted, you can go wider. If you're bigger busted, I would go narrower. But every woman is tiny through here. So let's just highlight that as best we can.
Yes.
And again, it kind of brings it back in. We've got the lace overlay, which is nice and forgiving of all those little things.
Yep.
The jacket doesn't have too much detail on it. Again, if you're bigger busted up here, we don't want to add any more weight, and so we want it nice and trim. Another thing we talked about is the length. This isn't too long, so we're going to hit it above your hips, because again, most women, that's where we're widest.
Right.
So don't layer your coat to end right there, because then you're going to create that shape. So this is a great little cropped up here.
Right.
And it's
Although
got
most women would be thinking, I want to cover this area, but no, you're saying expose this.
Yes, because that's your shape, and if you add layers onto it, then we want to see shape. You'll actually look smaller if we see your shape and the ins and the outs, as opposed to
Covering
just
it up.
something big and boxy.
Good.
Yes,
Good
and then
point.
I've said it before. Your wrists are delicate and lovely,
Yeah.
so show them off.
Show off your wrists.
Yes.
That's safe. You can get away with that. And then here.
Okay, the top. The top, we're getting too comfortable with big boxy tops.
Right.
And so they're too long. This is
Right.
it's gonna hit you up at your hips. It's got a layering underneath, so that's another tip. Even if you're not comfortable with this fabric, put something fitted underneath, and that'll give you some security. You want it to fit nicely around here. Again, this is where we're tiny and delicate, so emphasize this, show this off.
Right.
And then these jeans are Levi's. These actually have, they've got bum lifting
Oh my God.
elastic in there. They're
Lift
extra
my bum.
thick, so that and with the elastic, so that they're not going to show any sort of dimpling, anything like that. That's what you want. So wear fitted tight. Just make sure the fabric matches what your needs are.
Yes.
And again, this jacket, light, good length, very drapey, and so it all comes together that you want to flow, and you can hide. Again, we can hide so much.
Yes.
So much.
And look so delicate. And if you're that woman that has the great legs, the really tiny legs, but you were carrying more here, this is the perfect look for you.
Exactly. Just don't go too long.
Yeah, don't go too long. Show your legs.
Yes.
Do that.
Absolutely.
Great tips. I love them.